Welcome to Bus Vibes. Good morning, YouTube land.
194 to Station 1.
Oh, shush. Some of you guys have asked about doing a brake check. Put on some lights so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. All right, so let me go ahead and build my pressure up. So right now I'm sitting at about 75 psi, and then I'm going to go through a different. It's a little different on this bus compared to most of the other ones, just because of the electronic parking brake. So it actually is not going to pop out whenever when you get down to a low pressure. One second. Not worried about it. Okay, whatever. You will see the parking brake light on the dash here will come on, but it's actually not going to pop out. And these lights, they kind of go on and off. All right, so stop start. All right, I'm going to leave it on run. You know, whenever I hear that and see all those lights come on, I think of back in an old 80s TV show, Airwolf. And man, I was like, maybe I should have some kind of theme music when that comes on. I don't know. All right, so first off, I got to release the parking brake. Now watch this. It's going to yell at me. Brake not applied. You can see it on the dash. All right. So I'm pressing and holding it to see if I'm getting a drop, and I'm not. That's it. So that part is good. But we'll go ahead and finish the test all the way through. You can hear. All right. At 60 psi, the alarm is going to go off. Brake air, both lights are going to come on. At approximately 20 psi, you're going to see a light come on here that's going to say parking brake. All right, let's speed this up. There you go, parking brake. So, when it came up and said parking brake, it would have been the same thing on, say, 171 or any of the other ones, and the actual parking brake handle would have popped out. This one doesn't do that because of the electronic parking brake. Alright, give me a second here. So, we've got it. Pressure's already built up, but I want to wait till I get to the compressor bleed. Whenever that's done. Yes, I am. My route. See, I just got a text on my phone. It said tablets aren't working. Well, mine seems to be working, so I'm not complaining about it. Anyway, yeah. So there, you guys were asking about that, and somebody else was also asking about how I did my lights. All these lights upstairs. Well, first of all, let me change colors. What color do we want today? Let's see here. How about... let's go yellow. Alright. And the floor will go... I don't know, purple or blue. Oops. There. Yellow and blue. How about that? Anyway, some people were asking how I have it set up. So we've got a dual USB. Oh, I gotta get the air going on here. Get a little mug out of the air. All right, so we've got a dual USB here. I have actually an extender here, which has got four. 1, 2, 3, and then a USB-C. Each one of these is different. One of them goes up, I said, to my display up here. This display, I've run the wire up into this panel, and then I don't know if you can see it right here or not. It's just running right down the side here. It just keeps it nice and clean. I got the LED panel on Amazon for like, I don't know, it's like 50 bucks or something. It really was not expensive at all. And then this way I can put up whatever signs I want to. So, you know, for my elementary kids, I can put up birthdays or, you know, I originally had on here no, reminder, everything that you do is recorded because we got all these, you know, cameras over here. I originally had one up here that just says, keep your hands to yourself. Well, I had to amend that to say hands and feet because someone took their sandals off and decided to touch somebody else with their feet. I'm not a feet person, I think they're gross. So, anyway, so the second one of these wires goes down from my lights down here, down underneath. And then the third one, which is the white one here, this one you can see it runs back here up the side, and then this is where it just runs all the way around. It comes in a roll, and it's all double-sided tape is all it is. So it just sticks right up there. This is actually the second one I've done. The first one I actually, when I was putting it up, I don't know if I kinked it or what, but it only would do green. It's the only color that was working. So yeah, well, today, here we are, second week of school. It is Tuesday the 12th. I did not want to do one on Monday just because it was Monday. And I'm actually a morning person, really, but so all my stuff works. I am a morning person. Man, I need to sweep. It is dirty in here. I need to go out and clean the windows. First, let me go ahead and... Okay, ambers are working up top. Ambers are working in the back. So I'll go out and I do a little twofold. Give me a second. Oh, I didn't put my headlights on. And my hazards. Here, this way I can check everything. And oh yeah, my famous squeegee. As you can tell by my mirror heat, I turned it on this morning. That one works, this one doesn't. You gotta write it up. I wrote it up last year, and I believe the mechanic, he's no longer with us. Super nice guy, but I do believe he changed the wrong one. Because that left one just doesn't work. All right, all my lights are working. Clean my camera. And guess what? Look at there. If you look at my stick, you can see I just stick it up a little bit. I can see my strobe light. It's working. And I know I do this. I'm just kind of, I like to be able to see. And most of the time though, these back windows, it's gonna be, they're gonna get filthy before I even get halfway down my driveway. And but that's what we have mirrors for. I tend to do this almost every morning just because it is easier to see. They're not the cleanest, but you know, it gets the job done. You know, just try to get a little bit cleaner here until all the air can cool off enough and keep the windows clear. Usually in the afternoons, I turn the school bus sign off because it's so bright. Why waste the power to do that? Hey, it works. Alright. Door closed, that on, that on. It's getting nice and chilly in here. And I'll stay with you guys as long as I can. Man, I got my favorite pen. And there it is. Like my green pen. The other ones are spares. Okay, my ID card is right there. Yep. Leakage. I checked the boxes and all that earlier. Yep. Check my mirrors. One nice thing is I don't have to adjust the mirrors all the time. You know, when you get into a spare bus, you constantly have to look at, oh, I gotta adjust this, I gotta adjust that, you know. My seat stays the same. Then the only thing I change on my seat occasionally is the air in it. When I say air, these are inflatable. Brake not applied. Yeah, it would help if I put it in gear. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the seats are inflatable, meaning the air pressure raises them and lowers them, and then there's a lumbar support in the back of it. So if you know, your back's hurting or whatever a little bit, you can actually inflate the back of it. It's not like your car. Usually, you know, if you get in your car and do it, most of those are electric, but this is all air controlled. So your door won't close without air. Your seat won't go up and down or get lumbar support without air. So that's just what it is. I know I'm kind of all over the place this morning. I've got a pounding headache. Yesterday, I ended up first in the morning. I've told you guys before, I'm the tech guru at our church, and we had this high frequency pitch on Sunday morning, and I couldn't figure it out. But it only happened when the choir was singing. And but there's a lot of things that go into that. We have certain lights that come on when the choir is singing, certain colored lights will come on. You know, like when our pastor's preaching, he most of the time has blue background, colored lights. So I was like, okay, is it a color that's doing it? Is it, you know, so started troubleshooting. I mean, it took me a couple hours. I finally figured out it was one particular light, just one light. And it was, there is that noise again. What is that? There is that noise again. Yeah, sorry. It was just particular that frequency, and so I ended up turning the light off and just adjusting the other ones, and everything worked. There's our buddy Lane. He's already started picking up his kids. That's why you'll never see me on the front of his video. It's because he's already started picking up kids. I'm actually leaving here in a couple of minutes, and then I'll start going to pick up mine. But he's already, one of his first stops is down the road. So this actually, where he turns, it starts like his third or fourth pickup. So that's why you guys never see my place on there. I was doing a podcast last night. We got a Sci-Fi where we basically take movies, and then we kind of science fiction movies, and we kind of pick them apart. You know, we're looking for plot holes. We're looking for, was it an enjoyable movie? We rate it. And we had some friends over on they have their own podcast. So I'm actually going to be on theirs later on this week. And we had them on a couple times, and oh my gosh, I think that's one reason I got a headache, is because we were laughing so hard. It was a movie about an Axis power taking over the dark side of the moon right after World War II, and then deciding that they were going to come take over the world, or the Earth. Yeah. Oh, it was one of those movies that was so bad it was kind of good, but kind of bad. You don't know, you know. I mean, it was the goofiest thing. It really was. I mean, I can't put my finger on it, but we laughed so hard. I ended up coming up with questions for it, and in that I actually I looked for some, what do you call them, fake in-movie advertisements. And so I was just these goofy advertisements, and those were the funniest things, because that's what we were laughing the hardest about, honestly. We were like, okay, this movie stunk, but the commercials were funny. And so yeah, no real drama yesterday. You know, last week I said, okay, well, did she hold his hand or not? Well, the majority of you guys said yes, she did. Well, I said she, didn't I? Yeah. She is still adamant to this day that they didn't. But that's for you guys to decide. Personally, I don't care. I haven't been a teenager for years. Oh, yeah, you're turning. And so to me, it doesn't really matter. It is a balmy 75 degrees out. It's not that bad. It's just the humidity is just so bad. You know, that's why I got to keep my mirror heat on for a while, just to kind of keep these things clear, because there's so much moisture in the air. Excuse me. Today I'm doing my Game On, my video game shirt. I'm sure you'll see it in the intro, because actually I record that usually later on when it's brighter outside. It's usually too dark in the mornings to do that. I do cut out some of the stuff I do outside the bus before I hit record, just because, unlike the bus barn, my yard is not that lit. It's not that bright. At least this time of year it isn't. And I tried recording on that first day, and it was just way too dark. I mean, you couldn't even tell I was checking the oil on the recording. You know, even with my flashlight out, because I've got one security light that's right there next to the bus. So it's enough for me, but it's not enough for recording. So later on in the year, when the time starts changing, which is like, I don't know, it's August now, so what does that happen? Usually in October, I think it is, when the time changes. Probably get some more in the morning stuff. So far, it's been a good year. Again, I can't complain. The roads are the roads are what the roads are. It would be so nice if they would go ahead and do road construction during the summer. I take that back. They did. One of our major intersections, they started like 2 days before the end of school year. So they didn't close the road, but they started tearing up like one lane of it, because they knew it was going to be pushing it to get it done by school starts, you know. So I mean, they basically had 2 months to get it done, and any of you that has ever ridden on the roads knows that it takes an act of God, it seems like, to get road construction done. And anyway, so this would look, so I mean, it closed, the actual road closed the day after school let out, and opened, no kidding, the day before school started. So they were able to get that intersection done and cleaned it up a lot, because it was a mess. It really was. It was just impossible to navigate. Are you turning? I know you get your lights on, you get your signals on, but I can never tell if these people are turning or not. Look how fast this guy's coming. Yeah, if you were to slow up a little bit, then maybe I would have been able to tell you were turning. Sometimes people don't realize how difficult it is to drive one of these beasts. It's not, what do you call it? It's not what it's, well, it's not the easiest thing. I mean, this thing is so long. You know, when you're trying to make a right turn or a left turn and people stop, and it's like, hello, I'm gonna come into your lane. You know, when I leave my elementary school, I've actually changed my route a little bit. I guess I need to turn the radio back up now that I'm actually driving. Yeah, I changed my route a little bit just because I didn't want to. There was one road I had to make a sharp right turn on, and it seemed like I was waiting forever for traffic because it was a 2-lane road I was turning onto.
Go ahead.
And even though the inside lane was clear, I can't go because I swing into the outside lane because it's just such a tight turn. Otherwise, I drive over the curb. So I ended up changing. It was like one road over, because the road I went on, moved to, it's a nice transition onto that 2-lane road. So to me, it just saves headache. I mean, I did that earlier with one other road after I dropped all the kids off, because it was just such a hard right turn.
All drivers getting on their bus, we are having issues with the tablet. Please hit continue and roll on with your route.
Yep, thank you. My tablet's working fine, so I'm not complaining. So I'll catch you after I drop all the kids off. Just finished releasing of our high school and middle school kids. Man, that sun is bright this morning. And it's funny, you know, I get most of my stories from the kids. Let me rephrase it. From the young adults. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, that's better. In the afternoons, because that's usually when they're lively and they're much more talkative and what have you. In the mornings, oh my word, it's like I'm driving a hearse, you know. It is so quiet until we get to the middle school, and then they're all lining up, and then they all start talking at that point. And so much different than last year. Last year we had one individual. He was a type A personality. He was funny. He was just a super nice guy. However, he was loud, very loud, and was the center of attention. So when he got on the bus, everyone knew when he got on the bus. He no longer lives here. They're military family, and they moved out west somewhere, or maybe overseas. I don't exactly remember. And that is one bad thing about living in a military town, is you get to know some of these young adults and some of these kids from like my elementary, and their parents are military, because we have a base here. And
then they move away, you know, and you don't see them anymore. Like, I've got 2 girls that are leaving here in a couple of months because their dad's got orders somewhere else. So, I mean, they're doing school up to the point of when they got to move, and I mean, they're a couple of my really good elementary kids. I really like them a lot. They're real sweet. And so, yeah, you know, for the boy that was, you know, that I knew last year, that was just one of the issues. You know, you kind of get used to, and you kind of look forward to sometimes, you know, the boisterous and all that. But now, right now, it's just so quiet. And it's like, what? Okay, these people are not gonna, they're just so wanting to go. Just go. Just go. Just go. Come on. Just go. It's one of our great law enforcement officers. This guy always comes out here. He's always making sure we got priority. Although it's funny, if you look at him closer, it looks like he's got a big dip in his mouth all the time. It's one time I don't mind seeing the blue lights in my rearview mirror, you know. But granted, I really don't. I mean, I have not dealt with that a lot. I mean, I don't speed. One, if we're speeding in the bus and we get a ticket, it's immediate termination. If we get a super speeder, you know, those ones that, you know, hey, you're down the interstate, speed limit's 70 and you're doing 100 or something and you get a ticket, you know, where it's like 20 miles over the speed limit or something like that, immediate termination. So, and that's in your own personal car. Regardless, I'm just saying that your job is to drive, and now you're not driving sensibly in your own vehicle. How are we going to trust you with young adults and children? So I'm gonna put the cruise control on, and yes, it still works. See the green light right there saying my cruise control works, so rock on. Yeah, I bought these little window shades. I ended up buying a 2-pack because I wanted one for each window, but I opened this window up too much. First I thought I was going to mount them up here on this metal piece, and they just come right off of it. I mean, and I can't really clip them in or something. Thought about using like some of the double-sided tape that I use for this, and that was a possibility, but most of the time I don't get it too much here. It's mostly back here. Like right now, it's in the corner of my eye, so that's when it's pretty bad. I hope I got the recording from this morning, because when I was driving down the road, my GoPro just shut off, and I hope that doesn't mean that I didn't hit record and it was just powering off because it had been running for so long. But we'll see when I go to edit it. I may have said some things afterwards that make no sense whatsoever because I didn't get the previous stuff. You know, it could have been when I turned off the camera when I was walking to my garage, you know, to get my squeegee, and maybe I didn't turn it back on right, or I double tapped it, or who knows, you know. I probably should have just left it on and just edited it out whenever I was in the program. That would make more sense. Just, it's one less thing that could go wrong.
Station 1 to 122.
Honestly, today the radio's been relatively quiet. I'm surprised with the tablets not working that you weren't hearing a whole lot more radio chatter. I'm not saying it's been, I mean, because you just heard it. You know, you still hear the radio, but it's not like you want to yell at it and tell them to shut up. Kind of like one of my fellow drivers likes to do. I won't say names. 171. Yeah. Oh, it looks like there's some traffic up ahead.
maybe. I don't know. Well, it's funny. I enjoy driving this, I think, more than I enjoy driving my own car. Just because you sit up so high, you see everything, and I've got all these mirrors everywhere. You know, my car is great. I mean, I love it because I get like 48 miles to the gallon, so like it's awesome. You know.
This is 122.
But and this thing gets like 6, something like that. I honestly don't know. I should figure it out one day. This next time I fill up, I'm gonna write down the mileage, put it in my phone, and then go around the next time I put it on and figure out what kind of mileage I am actually getting in this. Because it seems, I mean, it runs pretty well. I mean, what do we got? I got only 25,000 miles. So, and I have no idea how often we do oil changes on these. I don't know if it's every 20 days just because of the use, or do they stick to a schedule? I really don't know. That'd be interesting. I mean, I'd love to hear from you guys in your comments on your school system, if you know how they do it. Oh, ask our mechanics when I bring it in. I mean, I don't have to bring it in for another 8 days, so I'll find out then. Although my buddy, he drives 213, and I saw him yesterday. I was like, dude, you got a spare? What's going on? He's like, I got all these failure lights came on his bus. You know, this thing, this failed, that failed, this failed, you know, and it wouldn't start, wouldn't do this, wouldn't do that. He finally got it to start up just to get it back to the shop and swap it out. But and he's got a 2025, so it makes you think. It's like, okay, are these newer buses really that good if it's got all those failures and stuff? I mean, and he's got a whole lot less mileage than I do. Who knows? Well, I'll catch you guys whenever I return this afternoon. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is the afternoon. I'm headed out to go pick up my little ones, and yeah, it's hot. Well, at least this bus was hot. I mean, it's 91 degrees, and this bus cools off fairly quickly, so it's not like when I first got on here, did my inspection and cranked it up and then swept it out, because I'm not sweeping this thing out unless the air's going. Actually, I got it on medium right now in the back, just because I know if I keep it on high, it's just gonna be loud for you guys. You know, for example, that's on high, so I gotta raise my voice to do it, so I'll just keep it on low for now. It still works, it still cools off the bus, so it's just a little bit slower. And plus, I'm gonna go up here and sit for a few minutes before we start getting the kids on, and then I'll crank it up at that point. I'm sure you saw in the intro my fantastic Game On shirt today. My grandson saw me when I got home, and he was like, I want to play that, I want to play that, I want to play that, I want to play that. So, pointing at all the different controllers on here. So it was quite funny. And he's 3, so he was like, and he kept saying something, and I didn't understand what he was saying, and he wanted to watch Mario. He wanted somebody to play Mario Kart. And so actually, when I left, my daughter, because today's her day off of one of her days off of work, she was up in the man cave, and pulled out the old Wii. No, I got a Wii U. That's it.
and pulled out the original Mario Kart and put it in there, because I've been playing Mario Kart 8, which I've never done before. So, but she just wanted the original because she knew how to play that, and so she popped that in there, and she was playing that when I left. It is funny the things that little kids really pick up, and I couldn't understand him. I should record what he's saying sometime. I want Mario. I want Mario.
I want Mario.
Yeah. So getting to tomorrow is going to be a very, very busy day for me. So after I drop the kiddos off at the elementary school, I have got to blitz over to my other job. My other job, you know, as you guys know, I work at the church, and I'm the tech person. Well, we have a school there, Crossroads Baptist School. Well, on Wednesdays they have what they call chapel, which is where they get to do some songs, get some music, they get a little lesson taught to them and everything. And it's supposed to start at like 8:35. I don't get my first run dropped off until sometimes 8:10. It's like, and it's almost 20 minutes to get over there. So it will be interesting to see how quickly I can get over there tomorrow, because I'm just going to drive the bus that's straight there and just park at the church. I mean, I've already set everything up today, so all the music and the videos and everything is in there. The other guy that's going to be in charge of doing all the music and worship and stuff, I've already kind of showed him how to turn the lights on, turn on the machines, you know, the soundboard, the computer, all that. And there's a police car parked in my spot. Well, how's that going to work? That'll be interesting. There you go, for all you bluebird lovers. Valdosta City Schools, they've got bluebirds. Almost all theirs are bluebirds. And so that's also one way you can tell the city schools compared to the county schools. Well, this will be interesting to see how I'm going to maneuver this. Usually I kind of back in like at an angle like this, and my front wheels are where that police car is at. So yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? All right, well then, here we go. Oh, somebody was asking me, yeah, because like you guys saw me this morning, how I've got a backup camera on here. It don't work correctly. It works, but it doesn't work correctly. All right, when I go in reverse, it should be coming on. Well, guess what? It doesn't come on. But I can do this little magic trick here and turn it on, and you guys can see it. At the same time, I do not want to block that police car. So they're going to have to walk around my bus. Alright, let's see here. I gotta see how much room I got. Alright, I think that's fine. That is fine. Like I said, normally I would be like this, but this way I'm not blocking in law enforcement, and at the same token, if for some reason another bus has to get out, they can get out. So, hey, it is what it is today. Well, now I want to get up here and get this air cranked, get it nice and cool in here. So, catch on a little bit. All right, everyone. Oh man, I get more content from my elementary kids. than I do with my high schoolers sometimes. So today, oh man, look at that hair. Woo! Today had my first parent bus driver conference. I got a little guy that he doesn't want to stay in his seat, wants to jump back and forth around. He's a first grader and kind of dealt with him last year, but it wasn't so bad because he had his sister here. Well, his sister's now in middle school, so it's just him. Anyway, it's only the second week of school, so I want to get this nipped in the bud real quick. That's the first thing. The second thing, there was a little bug up on the ceiling crawling around. I mean, I don't know what it was. It was some flying bug. But it was on the ceiling and the kids were freaking out. I mean, it was like the size of my fingernail. I mean, it was tiny, all right? And they're screaming and screaming and, oh, it's a bug! Oh my gosh! We're gonna die! It's a bug! I mean, I was like, come on, guys! It's just a bug and it's on the ceiling. You're down here. Look, I can't even reach the ceiling. So I said, when I get to the first stop, I'll kill it or shoo it out, whatever. Get it out of here. And when I got to the first stop, opened the door, I stood up to kill it, and it flew out. So it's just quite humorous, the things that kids get freaked out about. And I can understand kindergartners, even first graders, but I had some fourth graders that were freaking out about it, you know? And I'm like, guys, it's a bug. Deal with it. Anyway, yeah, so I got an announcement to make. I'm going to be kind of cryptic with this, but you all asked me, am I going to be on Lane's channel? Yes, I'm going to be on Lane's channel very soon. Look for an announcement. That's all I'm going to say. Look for an announcement. I know most of you guys have all come from Lane's channel, so watch his for the announcement. And tell your friends about this channel, because I'm getting kind of close to, I think we've got 1,600, almost 1,700 subscribers. You know, again, you all made this happen. I mean, I was on Lane's channel a couple times and I was like, yeah, this is fun. And then you all are the ones that said, hey, you need to have your own channel. So I made it, and 1,600 subscribers later, we are here where we are today. So thank you all. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to this whole school year. I'm probably not going to video as much as Lane does. I can tell you all that, just because my route is so much shorter. I'll probably keep my GoPro in my little holder right here. Just about every day, just in case something goofy happens and I need it, or if my bus breaks and I got to go get a spare. You know, and I know how you guys all like that. So, who is this coming down this road? Oh, that's one of the sped buses. I see her every morning. She drives the same neighborhood that I pick up high schoolers in. And, can't tell you your name, though. We just wave every morning. It is funny how bus drivers do that. When we see each other, we're like, yay, yay, well, you know. I mean, I've seen some memes about it and all that. It is quite humorous. let's see what my high schoolers and middle schoolers, any stories I get out of these guys today. So far, other than last week, you know, they were really quiet this morning. Now in the afternoon, also, I mean, that's one reason why I wanted this route, is because these are good kids. They all are pretty quiet. You know, I don't get a lot of fuss and you know, I mean, I had one 5th grader today when we were leaving. He was like, hey, I'm not sitting at the back of the bus with all the other 5th graders. I've got him right in front of them because he's got his younger brother and sister right there. And so, you know, I got him pushing the line of 5th graders. You know, he's right there at the edge. And they shouldn't be back there most likely, but we'll end up, I might end up changing the seats around or all that. Yeah, I got these little cool stickers. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. Oh, it looks like the high school is here. Today, cannot complain whatsoever. You know, any day you can wake up and you can feel your fingers, you can feel your toes. That's a good day. It really is. You know, this morning I woke up, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I had a pounding headache, and I tried taking a couple of ibuprofen. And even when I got home, I was like, okay, where's my Tylenol? Where's my acetaminophen? So took those, and then it went away. So, but I typically don't get headaches. I don't really have. I mean, if I spent 20 years in the military and not have some aches and pains, I mean, I've got no cartilage in my knees anymore. So when the weather changes, oh, I feel it. You know, I know that people joke, say, oh, that's an old wives' tale. You can't tell when it's going to rain. Yes, I can. I can feel it in my knees, especially. And I got a sore back if I overdo it. You know, most of the time I'm fine. You know, as long as I don't overdo it, I'm good. So coming up to the school, and I'm gonna go ahead and probably say goodbye, and I'll catch you next time, everybody. I do again appreciate all you guys. And why do you get your hazards on? You're in a parking lot with all the rest of us. Well, anyway. Okay, everyone, I had to get back on. It's always a day of stories, isn't it? Today is it anyway. So as we're leaving the middle school, I hear coming over the radio that, hey, I got a kid that's lighting a fire on the bus, and they're trying to cover it up by spraying deodorant. I don't know what the circumstances are on that. It sounded like they were using an iPhone or an iPod or something, and some kind of connecting with the USB port or something, and they're causing it to spark or something. I don't know. That's just what it sounded like over the radio. I mean, I initially thought that, you know, I could see if you're, you know, the sun is shining and you're, you know how you can use like a magnifying glass and you can kind of move, you know, kind of pinpoint the light a little bit. You can use the glass of a phone to do that, because I can tell you sometimes I'm blinded. Like if my wife has got her phone in between the seats on our car, and it blinds me, and so I can see that, but I don't know. It's not what it sounds like it happened. And then another one, they called the cops on the kid because they were unruly. I don't know what they were doing, but sometimes this radio is pretty funny. And finally, for me, I'm going to my first subdivision. I turn left into the subdivision, and sitting there is a cherry picker. And you're like, what's a cherry picker? Cherry picker is like one of those snorkel trucks that they get up and work on the power lines with. If it was a normal car, yeah, I could have got by, but not with this big honking bus and these mirrors sticking out everywhere. I ended up having to back into the road. Luckily traffic stopped so I could back into the road and go the out way. Again, it's just, sometimes you get those days, don't you, where things just happen. And today was that, bugs and vehicles in the way. You know, saw a dog taking a dump right in front of us. You know, I mean, it's just, and then decides almost to chase the bus afterwards. It's like, oh, I'm done, okay. So again, it's just one of those days. And this morning, I didn't say it this morning, but I had two little itty bitty dinky bugs. They look like gnats, but they were bigger. And they had like fly wings. So they weren't flies and they weren't gnats, but they were tiny. Tiny, 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 tiny little things. So, and they're just annoying. They just kind of fly around the front of the bus and like, I'm trying to get out, but I can't get through the window. So, anyway. Yeah, I said goodbye earlier, and I kind of meant it, but too much has happened since then, so I had to come back on. All right, everybody, this time is for real. All right, until next time.